So as a software engineer, obviously my thesis for 2026 is there are so less companies that actually focus on the. So I'm heavily, researching. Now for the average investor buying a broad US index fund like a NASDAQ or the S&P 500, something like that, that makes a lot of sense. But if you want to pick individual stocks, then you need a thesis to invest on. So as a software engineer, obviously my thesis for 2026 is focused on a lot on the shift from LLMs, these large language models, to agentic AI infrastructure. That I'm trying to focus more on the infrastructure, the companies that are trying to provide the infrastructure that these AIs need. There are so less companies that actually focusing on the infrastructure and providing the infrastructure. For example, that's why we're seeing, right, all these chip makers like Nvidia, AMD, all these booms, because they sort of have a monopoly on the market. And now all these companies that are trying to come up with data centers, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, everybody is trying to jump in the game. But it's still a pool of very less companies, and that equate to a pool of very less equities that you can choose from to invest in the AI infrastructure. So I'm heavily researching the semiconductor infrastructure, the companies that are manufacturing the chips, the cloud service providers that are hosting these huge server farms, and the data center infrastructure companies.